Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the first I've ever done a story time video. I'm just going to talk about the first financial lesson I learned. The first one I remember learning as a child. I was probably, I'd say, between the ages of 8 and 10 when I was a kid, and I really wanted an American Girl doll. You may know what they are, you may not. They're just sort of these collectible dolls that they market to kids, and they have different names and looks from different various things. In the 80s they were all sort of based on a different era, but all of my friends at that age, they all had them, they all loved them, and I guess I was really jealous, and I just wanted an American Girl doll. So I asked my mom if I could have one, and my mom looked them up and she saw that they were about $100 for a doll. My mom said, "There's no way I am buying you a $100 doll." So I was like, okay. So I went to my room and I thought about it, and I realized that if I really wanted the doll, I could start saving for it. So I started saving my allowance. I saved, every week I got $5, and I started saving all of my allowance. And I saved until I got the $100 saved up for the doll. It took me almost 6 months, which is, when you're a kid, that is forever. But I got the $100 for the doll, and that really taught me how to be careful with my money and how to plan, and it taught me how to save, which were really good lessons for a kid. So I took my allowance savings and I handed it to my mom and said, "Here, Mom, I want this doll." And she said, "Okay," and she ordered it for me. And to this day, I still have my American Girl doll. She's really beat up. She's, old. This was the 80s, so she's pretty ancient. The one I got, I think her name's Felicity. But I valued this doll so much because I saved my money for so long as a kid to actually be able to get this doll. If my mom had just bought me this doll, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have hung on to it for so long because I wouldn't have cared about it as much. It wouldn't have had the same kind of value that this doll had to me as a child. I knew that this doll was the result of my hard work and my careful planning so that I could get it, and those were really good lessons to teach a little kid, so I thought that was sort of something interesting to share. There's also kind of a second lesson that I learned from this doll. Back in the 80s, it's not like it is now when you order something now, it comes right away. But in the 80s, it took a long time to get things. You had to get a catalog, you had to mail away for them, and then I don't know why it took so long, but it took 4 to 6 weeks at least to get things in the mail back then. So this doll took probably a month to get to me after we ordered it. And by then, when I actually got the doll, I was kind of past wanting it. I was sort of like, oh, my friends have stopped playing with these. I wanted it, 6 months ago, and then another month, so 7 months ago is when I really wanted it. So I didn't really play with it that much. It kind of just sat on my shelf, and I was like, oh, that's that thing I worked for, but it didn't have as much value at that time as it would have, I guess. So I guess that was another lesson that it taught me, was if you're going to save up your money for something, make sure it's something that you really want and that's going to actually add value in your life. Because I could have taken that, $100 and bought something that I would have gotten more enjoyment from and played with more as a kid. But I was so focused on just getting this doll that that's where that money went. So I really got a couple of lessons out of it. I learned how to save, and I learned how to plan. And I also learned to, if you're saving for money, make sure it's something that's actually going to add value to your life. Make sure it's something that you really are going to benefit from if you spend your money, because you don't want to just throw your money away into something that you're going to get bored with in a month. You want it to go to something that's important. You want it to go towards something that's valuable, that's adding any value to your life, that's going to help you, because your money's valuable. You spent time making that money, and your time is the most precious thing you have, really. So I think about things before you buy them. Think about what you're saving for, make plans, just really be cautious with what you're doing with your money, because it's important. It's really what we have as our currency, so just think before you spend, I guess, that's what I'm trying to get across. I hope this is sort of just an interesting story for somebody to hopefully make you think a little bit about your money and your finances. And I hope you have a beautiful day today. So thank you for stopping by.